Hi folks, I wanted to take this opportunity to tell you about something that's happening on Sunday afternoon. Our moderator, along with all the other main church leaders, other denominations and other Christian organisations, have sent out a call to pray on Sunday afternoon from 3 to 4 p.m. As we know, Sunday is Palm Sunday. It's the time when we reflect on Jesus coming in humility into Jerusalem on a donkey. And so we are called as his people to come in humility and do as 2 Chronicles 7 says, to humble ourselves and to seek God and to pray. And I hope that you'll do that. You'll take that hour. Don't worry if you can't fill it all. Just use the time to pause and to pray for all the situations and all the people that I'm sure you've heard about and are much on your heart today. There are resources from the websites of Crown Jesus Ministries, from 24/7 Ireland Prayer, as well as 24/7 Prayer in general. Transformations Ireland also give us a little heads up about it. And of course, our own Presbyterian Church in Ireland website is very helpful at the moment, gives lots of resources for how we can pray and how we can devote ourselves in greater measure at this time. In a moment, I'm going to hand you over to Jo, and Jo is our youth ministry team leader, and she has come up with some resources, some ideas that you might use, especially if you have children in your house for that hour. We know that it's good to do things a bit differently when we have children, to be a little bit more creative, and so Jo will help you with that if you're going to stop, and I hope you will. I hope you'll take this opportunity to join with the thousands of Christians in Ireland, in North and South, to pause. And one of the things that we're asking is that for the last 10 minutes of that hour, at 10 to 4, all of us, no matter where you're at, if you're on your own or you're with family, adults or children, that we will all get on our knees and use that last 10 minutes in that submissive position to cry out to God, to come and heal our land, to come and minister to those who are suffering today, to stop this COVID-19 virus, not only in Ireland, but right across the world. Would you join us? I hope you will. May God bless you today and indeed keep you safe. And now it's over to Jo.
Hi everyone. As Mairisine has said, I'm just going to be offering some suggestions as to how as families we can be praying together on Sunday and joining with our church family and the nation between 3 and 4 o'clock as we bring this coronavirus and this global crisis before God. And so our children love to pray. They're really great at it. They're wee prayer warriors, and certainly in Big Tree House we are really encouraged as we hear them speak out to God and have conversation with him. But their prayer time, it looks different from us. Psalm 46 and 10 says, "Be still and know that I am God," and that is a good truth. However, I know the be still part in this house could last for maybe 5 seconds if we're lucky, and so our prayer time needs to be creative, and our God is a creative God, and so he loves to hear from our children in the creative ways in which they love to play and learn and do and be and chat. So it's about making this as accessible for them and as fun for them as possible. And certainly in Big Tree House and in BTC, we love to engage with prayer stations, and I suppose this is just like a wee mini prayer station at home. And so you can be as creative as you like with this. This is just a starting point for us to begin, and so you can go with this wherever you like. But few basic things that you need to get going. You'll need an A3 piece of paper, okay? And we have stolen Isaac's Paw Patrol poster page, but if you don't have A3s, just sellotape a couple of A4 together. You will need some hearts, so they need to be opaque. So again, I've just drawn these, coloured them in and cut them out. Some hand sanitizer, which I'm sure we've all got in our homes at the minute, sellotape or glue, and the Lego is optional, but it's something I'm sure a lot of us have, and the kids love to play with it, so it's going to be helpful if you've got it. So I think at the beginning of our prayer time as a family, it would be good to read Psalm 46 verse 10 just to still our hearts, even if it is only for 2 or 3 seconds, that's okay. And to maybe do the prayer drill that we do in Big Tree House, where it's washing our hands and hanging them out to dry, or the one where we outstretch our arms and up and come down. And your kids will be able to lead you in that really well. But it's just the starting point to recognise that this is a time as a family we are going to come before God. And so then have your pre-prepared map, okay? So if you just doodle the outline of the island of Ireland before you sit down to begin with your kids, it doesn't really matter what shape it is, as long as it kind of looks like the island, that would be helpful. But a really good place to start with this is giving thanks to God for our homes and for his protection and the safety of our homes. So I have drawn some houses here. That's what the Lego is for. You could make some houses out of Lego and lay them on the top of your map as you have it on your table. But it's just an opportunity to then, as you build that Lego or as you draw your house on your map, in that moment together as a family, to give thanks to God and to say thank you for his protection and for the safety of our own homes. Moving on then to look at the plasters. These plasters are to pray for those people who are sick or who are vulnerable at this time. And so write the names of the people who you know who are ill or who are elderly or on their own or particularly vulnerable at this time. Write their names on the plasters and then stick the plasters to your map. We have here a guy called Mark and his family, because we know he's really ill at the minute with the coronavirus, as is his wife, and they just have a newborn baby. We've also chosen Great Granny because she is in her mid-80s and is very lonely at the minute and in the vulnerable category and on her own. Down at the bottom of the map we have written some fears, and so it's good to hear from our children what they are fearful of or what they're worried about at this time. And then we want to remind them, just as we have been doing through our Good News Room, that actually God's love is bigger than our fears. And so we want to remind them of the truth in 1 John chapter 4 verse 18. And so it'd be a good idea, after you have written down those fears on the map, to read that verse of scripture together and to remember that actually God's perfect love casts out all fear. And as you turn that verse of scripture into a prayer, get your opaque heart and stick it onto the fear. And so that is just a symbol of the hope and the truth that we have, that we know God's love conquers all, and so we are set free from those fears as we trust in his love. So that is our map. Our hand sanitizer, we can give everybody in the family a little squirt of our hand sanitizer, and as we rub our hands together, pray for those doctors and nurses who are working especially hard and really tired, and just really that God would protect them at this time and that they would have all the resources that they need. And so you're particularly thinking of the doctors and nurses as we use our hand sanitizer. There's obviously lots of other things we could be praying about with our families, and that our government at this time would have wisdom as they lead us and direct us in what we need to be doing. It'd be really great to pray that in this time of crisis that people's hearts would be softened and that they would turn to Christ, and that we would see salvation come to Bangor during this time. It would be fantastic to pray that as God's people we would continue to rise up and to praise and worship him and lead the way through this crisis with praise. And so you can be as creative as you want to be with this. And just also to say, although the prayer time is from 3 to 4 on Sunday, that if you can manage as a family to do that for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever length of time you can do, know that that is really valuable, and so God will be delighted with that. And as we all join together, we are looking forward and anticipating how God is going to answer, and we're excited about that. And so yeah, I just really want to encourage you to take those moments on Sunday between 3 and 4, the last 10 minutes, and we're all being asked to pray on our knees. And so we're going to try and take the last half hour as a family and do this, and you'll be surprised. Your kids will get really into it, you know, and what you think may seem like a long time will maybe go quicker than you expected. But just in those last 10 minutes as we're doodling or as we're praying, we're going to be on our knees around the table. And so I'd encourage you to join us as we gather together across Bangor and across the nation as we bring this coronavirus and the crisis that we are in before God the Father, the maker of heaven and earth, and as we just ask him to intervene and to save us from this. So do join us. Oh, and I'd love to see your maps. Okay, so haven't really said this on our good newsroom or anything yet, but I will do, that we're hopeful that when we're out the other side of this, we'd love to see some of the artwork and how we have been praying or using our time at home more creatively. And so keep your maps, because we'd love to create a space in church to stick those up, just to give thanks and as a recognition of how we have prayed our way through this. And so do hold on to them, and don't be worrying, they don't need to be any masterpieces. You have seen my artwork now. I am not Martin Jury, so it doesn't need to be amazing. It's the heart in this that counts. But thank you so much for listening, and I hope that's helpful. God bless. Bye.